Hello. I've been crying. They're not the normal tears that I've been crying. It's mainly the tears of relief, of 14 years of suffering. Finally, I can say that I know what's wrong with me, and it's curable. My diagnosis used to be bipolar disorder with borderline personality disorder. Those two things are not things that you can ever truly fix. You can medicate your symptoms, but you can't fix those. But in the last year or so, we began to suspect that my problems were hormonal. We started to notice that on my face, I've been stressed, and I have been peeling my face or rubbing the skin off of my face pretty bad. But it wasn't but a year or two ago. No, it was more like a year ago. It was a year ago I was diagnosed with autism. Well, almost a year ago. I was diagnosed with autism, and one thing that I did immediately, since I had so many health issues that doctors seem to not be able to tell me why I'd experienced them. First thing I did, I Googled comorbid physical health issues with autism. One of the things I came across was premenstrual dysphoric disorder. And reading it, I was like, wait, my symptoms, my bipolar symptoms, they started when I was very young. I was in 9th grade experiencing symptoms. I always thought I had adolescent onset bipolar disorder. Then I remembered I started my period in 8th grade, and I was like, wait, and that began the start of paying attention to more, because before my autism diagnosis, I never really made a connection between what my body was going through and what my mind was going through. It was very disconnected. And it was very disconnected. And then when I learned I was autistic, and that autistic people can have trouble with what's going on inside their sense of interoception, or whatever it's called, the sense of what's going on inside of your body. And since I learned that autistic people had trouble with that, so I started to really pay attention to the connections in my body, mind-body connections, what was going on. And I started to notice a cycle. It was with up until my period came on, the weeks before were terrible. I would get I would feel hopeless. I'd get so depressed. I'd have so many negative, self-defeating thoughts. I would have suicidal thoughts, ideation. I would have more meltdowns. I was more sensitive to light and sound. I had brain fog really bad. I couldn't focus. I couldn't get into anything. My joints hurt. I had extreme exhaustion to where I couldn't even brush my hair, hold my arms up to brush my hair for very long. It was bad, and I started to notice a correlation. And I was like, I don't think I'm bipolar. Because the bipolar mood swings never really fit. I would always have these short swings that would last a day, or less than a day, or I'd have a swing and go to sleep and wake up and be fine. I wasn't diagnosed with, quote, borderline until I was diagnosed with autism, which really the borderline was the Pmdd. I just can't believe all this. I'm happy. I'm sad that I had to live 14 years like this. I think, or was it longer than 14? Did I start my period when I was 14, 15, or I was in 8th grade? I don't know. When I had kids, my symptoms got debilitating. I had 3 kids back to back. And, during the pregnancy is another reason. Well, no, we started to suspect that my stuff was hormonal even before my autism diagnosis. Because when I was pregnant, I felt wonderful. I had more energy. I didn't hurt as much. I could get into things. I could just, when I was pregnant, I had more energy than now, even. I was getting out. I was taking Jackson when I was pregnant by myself to Discovery Place. I was doing stuff. But I had 3 pregnancies back to back, which I think exacerbated my Pmdd symptoms, because after my 3rd child, things became very bad for me, physically and mentally. My mental state deteriorated. Each month I'd just go through these episodes where I was just irritable. I was so depressed. I was suicidal. I would get angry with Ryan, my husband. I would fight him. I'm not a fighter. I fought him. They got worse. My physical symptoms started to get really bad. my fatigue, I started to wonder if I had chronic fatigue syndrome, because my fatigue was so great that I couldn't do anything for it. I had no endurance. My endurance was like 0. And I had 3 kids. 3 young kids. My muscles would burn from being tired. I couldn't even brush my hair, comb my hair, without my shoulders burning. Couldn't stand up for a long time without, or not even long, I couldn't stand up for like more than a few minutes without my hips starting to burn. And my knees, they hurt, they throbbed. My wrist, all my knuckles, all my joints, they were stiff and swollen. I'd get these histamine reactions. I get these rashes on my skin. I would lose sleep. Sometimes I'd sleep too much. Sometimes I couldn't sleep. I think the worst was after my 3rd son. I had a month where I actually went into a manic state. Not because I'm bipolar. I think it was postpartum mania. Because I've only had 2 manic episodes in my life. That one and the one in college that was triggered by stress. It only lasted a month. This time, the fatigue, my muscles burned. The fatigue was so bad. I couldn't sit down, though I was exhausted, but I couldn't be still. I had a lot of tics, facial tics. I even at one point ran away from home, 12 midnight, it was November, middle of the night, barefoot, ran away from home. Cops picked me up, took me to the hospital. Like, my hormones were just unstable after 3 pregnancies. And then my Pmdd symptoms, they were just off the charts. My quality of life deteriorated to where I was pretty much sedentary. I'd get up only when I had to. I didn't interact with my kids as much as I'd like to, get down on the floor with them and play. I mainly talked to them, and from my sitting down, or I wouldn't get up and run around with them because I couldn't. I was too tired. But the reason why I was crying, going back to that, is that I was able to reconnect with my old gynecologist, and she's always been so compassionate and caring, and she has always listened. I was able to reconnect with her recently, and she listened to me, my concerns, when no doctor would and wouldn't. And she started me on the depot shot, which I had some improvements, but I was still having breakthrough issues. It was pretty bad. And so, oh, my poor face. That part right there, right there, right there. Anyway, I was, still having issues, and I was like, doctor, I need something more drastic of an approach. Like, this isn't working. My quality of life is so poor. and it happens every month without fail. So she agreed to try me on a drug called Lupron, which would put me into a chemical menopause and stop my cycling. She put me on that for 3 months, and after that, she said if I saw improvements, my quality of life improved, she would remove my uterus and my remaining ovary. Because I only got one. I had the other one taken out because I had endometriosis, and it had adhered to the side of my abdominal cavity. But yeah, I'm on the path to living my life without the burden of all this mental crap and physical ickiness. Like, for the first time in like 14 years, or however long, math is hard. And I'm like, I can't believe it. I suffered for so long. I've been so strong. But like, I couldn't do this my whole life. I was worried that one day I was really gonna take my life and leave my husband and my kids. So yeah, that's just my story. I'm on the road to finally feeling better for once, and I'm so excited. I just wanted to share that maybe my story would help someone with, get some hope themselves, not give up, never give up. You just gotta keep trying. Take care.